We are now at the Charles Schulz Museum, so let's go inside and see what it's all about.
On a road trip to Santa Rosa, me and my wife discovered the Charles Schulz Museum about 14 years ago, and we had no idea that they had just opened their doors a decade prior on August 15th, 2000. Well, fast forward to today, and we are now bringing our kids. I was also curious on what's changed. And this museum has the largest collection in the entire world. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. By the way, whenever we find these penny machines, we try to collect them.
Oh, you got another one! Alright. Okay, just keep going. We're gonna get a whole bunch.
But for some reason, this one was giving out free coins. Before entering, we took a few photos next to these cool artwork. The admission was $12 for adults and $5 for children. Not too bad. It's such a treat to see the original drawings for these comic strips. This is the downstairs gallery, and for the next few months they'll be exhibiting the Beagle Scouts.
So the Beagle Scouts influence was based off of Charles Schulz's experience in the military.
Can you believe the Beagle Scouts have been around for 50 years? In just over a decade, it'll qualify for Social Security. Just don't let this guy know about it. Wouldn't these look cool on a jujitsu gi? And I like how they number the exhibits as trails. They're really keeping with the theme.
Oh, this is when the different members of the Beagle Scouts were introduced. So Woodstock, Conrad, this is Bill, 1990, Harriet.
And here's some of the Beagle Scouts' licensed merchandise. And on this magnet board, Nolan was tasked with sorting out what to pack for camping and what to leave at home.
Yeah, but what do you need? What do you need to go hiking? You're not gonna wear socks? Or tent? What are you? Who is this kid? He doesn't want to bring anything.
Remind me to never let this boy pack, unless we want our trip to turn into a real-life survivor. In this exhibit, you can watch a full episode of the Beagle Scouts. And over here, people can pretend they're roasting marshmallows over a campfire. Before leaving, make sure you sign the guest book. It'll probably end up in the trash, but at least you can pretend to be someone special.
Oh, come on!
And I wonder when this comic came out. Charlie Brown looked so different. Were the conspiracies true?
Yeah, make sure you do this photo zone, guys. Very fun. You can pick little bubbles here and then attach it to the top. So you're like a frame in one of the comics.
Did you know that Charles Schulz drew one comic every day? How could he keep the ideas fresh with that much output? His work ethic was unreal. And now we're in the strip gallery. They rotate the comics, so there's always something new to see.
This is Charles Schulz's 1950s comic strips. Charlie Brown has a bigger looking head. And in the 1960s, he starts to look more like the Charlie Brown we know.
An interesting fact is that the Peanuts was originally called the Little Folks. Charles Schulz was forced to change it to Peanuts by the syndicate company he worked with, but he would be the first to tell you that he never liked the name. Well, at least they didn't go with the second choice, Lemonheads. And next door to the strip gallery was the Video Nook. They were playing a documentary on Charles Schulz. By the way, where's the remote? I want to see what's new on Netflix.
And check out this wall here. This wall mosaic is made up of small Charlie Brown comic strips. Really cool. These are all tile, by the way. This isn't a wallpaper. We're now going to the second floor. And these are his early comic inspirations. They look like vagabonds. So Charles Schulz was a self-taught cartoonist. He loved hockey, bowling, baseball, and tennis, and golf as well.
In this exhibit, we have information on Charles Schulz's military service during World War II.
And this is the original wall from his daughter's bedroom.
And here's a timeline of Charles Schulz's entire life. It's so inspiring to learn about all the adventures he had.
Take a puppet and put it through the curtain. Haha, there you go. Turn around, Ellie.
And there was an exhibit about this old Valentine's episode of Charlie Brown.
And this room is a recreation of Charles Schulz's studio.
Boy, what I wouldn't do to be a fly on this wall. I think this is my favorite exhibit in the entire museum. It really shows what kind of man Charles Schulz was. And I bet there's a cool story behind all these items.
There's an education room where you can learn how to draw your own comics.
Holy moly, it was jam-packed inside.
It's the peanuts in Japanese, I think.
Japan.
On this wall, you can leave your very own artwork. Some of them are pretty good. There were also several activities to do. One of them had guests trace their favorite Peanuts character onto wax paper. The next one had us try our hands at some animation. Then the last one had us make an origami replica of Snoopy's doghouse. The origami was a bit complicated for the young ones, so we had to help them out. And this was the final result. Not too bad.
This is a solid crystal Snoopy.
This must have cost a fortune.
Wow.
This sculpture is called Morphing Snoopy and was made by Yoshiteru Otani. He's the same artist who made the mural.
Like a real dog turns into Snoopy.
And if you didn't know, Snoopy was actually based on Charles Schulz's real-life dog. Afterwards, we went to the theater to catch an episode of The Beagle Scouts on Apple TV. We then headed to the courtyard to get some fresh air.
Welcome to the Great Pumpkin. That's real. Huge. Where'd they get that pumpkin from? This guy grew it. It's a real pumpkin.
There were also a few sculptures of the Peanuts gang. And right at the center of the courtyard was this beautiful redwood tree that was 85 years old and 80 feet tall.
Going to the Othmar Hall. Alright, press the button. See if it opens. Oh no, the bottom button.
Nope.
Okay, this might be an event hall. It's appears to be closed.
And this is probably the most beautiful water fountain I've ever seen. I grew up watching Charlie Brown cartoons, so it was really cool to have an entire museum about it. And before leaving, we stopped by the small gift store to purchase a little keepsake. Immediately outside is the labyrinth in the shape of Snoopy's head.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, here's some more suggestions. And as always, please like, subscribe, and press the bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next Kim's Adventure.